So we have worked through all of the kind of example problems. We've talked about each of the individual laws, but I want to just take a quick second here to take a note about how this is going to work and really what you have to take away and learn about these gas laws in this class. So the idea here is that if I throw a gas law at you, you should be able to determine, or if I throw a question at you, you should be able to determine what gas law you need to use to solve it. So your job is to figure out what you're given, what you need, and what gas law will solve that problem for you, okay? So I'm going to give you the gas laws. I'm going to give you that universal gas constant. It is your responsibility to determine which you need to use when, okay? So that is the big hang up here. That is what is challenging about this chapter. It's not remembering the equations. It's not remembering this ideal gas law. It's knowing which law to use and when. So basically you have to determine what you're given, figure out which law relates those variables. And you don't want to overdo it. So you don't want to try to use the combined gas law or the ideal gas law or some of these more aggregated laws if you don't need to. So if you don't have to, don't do it. You don't need it, okay? So don't overdo it. You just have to use the values you're given to determine what the law you're supposed to use is. So to prepare you for this, I've set up some practice questions for you here. So what I highly recommend for you to do is to look at the screen that I have pulled up here, to pull up the list of gas laws that I have given you as well, and then to sit down and try to solve each of these problems before you look at the answers, okay? So I have these all spread out with all the answers here, don't get me wrong, but what would do you good is if you work through these problems and see if you can figure out, if you can determine what gas law you need and to figure those things out. So that's really the challenge here. So that's kind of the thought I wanted to leave you with about the gas laws. Please work through these problems. Please ask me if you have any questions. The most beneficial thing you can do is this mixed gas law practice, because when we get to the exam, I'm probably not throwing all 6 at you, so you can't even figure it out by a process of elimination. What's going to be important is that you can identify which law you need quickly on the exam, okay? So keep that in mind, and that's chapter 11.